back to work after a week of frivolity. We are back. We were off last week. Did you know we were off last week?
Yes, of course.
You didn't still come in and sit on the stool?
No.
And we got, at my house, we got all the diseases. We got the cold, the flu, strep throat, everything you want on vacation. The only thing we didn't get was measles. Is it measles or the measles? It's like Foo Fighters. I can't get it straight. It's whatever it's called. There are measles outbreaks in Texas and New Mexico specifically, and you're not going to believe this, in areas where they have low vaccination rates. I know, right? It's weird. Government health officials say the best way to avoid... Well, actually, they fired all the government health officials, so we don't know what they will say. But fear not, because thanks to our dear Miss Leader, disease is on the way out and RFK is on the way in.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We need him. You know, there's a number on autism as an example with children, autism. 1 in 36 babies have autism. There's something wrong. Bobby is going to find it. Working with Dr. Oz, by the way. Working with Dr. Oz.
Oh, good. Let's get Dr. Huxtable in there, too, while we're at it. I mean, he only hires people from television. It's really remarkable. What an absolute mess these scoundrels are making of our country. The federal government is in unprecedented disarray. The mass firings continue with no research. They're just jumping in, chopping off heads. It's not just that they're firing thousands of federal workers. It is the glee with which they're firing. Ordinarily, you have some compassion when you lay people off. You wish them well, you thank them for their work. Not MAGA, not the Doge Bros. They are throwing career-long civil servants, people, many of whom have worked in these jobs for decades, out in the street like they're fish garbage. Ex-Luthor, Elon Musk, sent out a mass email over the weekend to all federal workers. The subject line was, "What did you do last week?" And then ordered them to list the top 5 things they did at work last week. It's like the government is being run by BuzzFeed. It's ridiculous. Meanwhile, while all this so-called cost-cutting is happening, Liger Woods has already spent $10.7 million of tax money playing golf. Trump has played golf on 9 of his first 30 days of work, while you're making payments on an egg salad sandwich. And not only is he busy with golf while laying people off, he amped the hypocrisy up another notch by accusing employees of the government who work from home of being out playing golf instead of working at home. Donald Trump, a guy who literally worked from home and is out playing golf instead of working, saying these work-from-home employees are out playing golf. I mean, there's almost no parallel. It's like Diddy complaining you bought too much baby oil. Okay? But Trump and his buddy Elon, what a team. We got a dick and a tater in charge of everything. The next thing you know, I mean, don't be surprised. Mark my words, the next thing you know, those two will be going to Fort Knox to check out the gold.
We're also going to Fort Knox. I'm going to go with Elon. We want to see lots of nice, beautiful, shiny gold in Fort Knox. Don't be totally surprised. We opened the door, we'll say, there's nothing here. They stole this, too.
It was empty when we got here. You know? He comes lumbering out with a bunch of big rectangles in his pants. It's crazy what is happening. We have a non-elected official, a guy who's not been vetted by Congress, a foreigner from South Africa who makes a lot of his almost $1 trillion from government contracts, directing this goon squad to plug into the hard drives that contain highly sensitive personal information for hundreds of millions of American citizens. We still haven't seen Donald Trump's tax returns. He and Elon have seen ours. That doesn't make sense to me, but I'll tell you what, they're having a lot of fun with it.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw!
I mean, seriously, if that guy walked into your office and told you he was there to start making cuts, everybody jump on him and put him in a headlock, right? You'd zip tie him and hold him until the cops showed up. I have to say, I'm not even 100% sure he's human.
The left wanted to make comedy illegal, you know? Like, you can't make fun of anything. So then it was like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy.
Yeah. He's right. We can't make fun of anything anymore. For instance, if I said that outfit he's wearing looks like a Russian coke dealer from 1993, I would be arrested. Thank you, Elon, for saving comedy. Now, speaking of comedy, I wonder if Rodney Dangerfield saw this one this morning. In the middle of all the cuts, somebody hacked into the monitors at the Department of Housing and Urban Development and put this on every video screen. It's Donald Trump kissing Elon's feet. And see, comedy is still legal. And that right there is why you don't fire 1,000 nerds at once. We got some new insight about Donald and Elania, courtesy of the latest in a series of Trump tell-all books. Michael Wolff, the author of Fire and Fury, has a new book called All or Nothing. I love when a new Trump tell-all pops up. For me, it's the equivalent of like a surprise Beyonce album dropping. According to this book, which comes out tomorrow, the first time Trump saw Elon bopping around on stage was at a rally in Pennsylvania. He said, "What the F is wrong with this guy, and why doesn't his shirt fit?" Both excellent questions. The book says some of Trump's cronies believe Trump was using Ozempic, which I guess means Ozempic doesn't work. I don't know, but Wolf wrote that when Trump wants to celebrate, he calls for his poison, which is a basket of Starbursts, Hershey bars, Laffy Taffy, and Tootsie Rolls. His head really is a Halloween pumpkin, just stuffing it with... The book claims Trump really wanted a female vice president, but instead settled for a man who wears eyeliner. Wolf also says Trump was losing it toward the end of the campaign, and that at one point he forgot J.D. Vance's name, which I bet he still doesn't know. I would bet almost anything Trump has no idea what the letters J and D stand for. And Johnny Depp? I don't know. Of course, Team Trump's pushing back on the book. His communications director, Stephen Chung. Oh, that's not the right photo. Yes, that's the one. Stephen Chung, his White House communications director. It really looks like a baby with a hemorrhoid wrote, "Michael Wolff is a lying sack of S and has been proven to be a fraud. He routinely fabricates stories originating from his sick and warped imagination, only possible because he has a severe and debilitating case of Trump derangement syndrome that has rotted his peanut-sized brain." If I was Michael Wolff, I would put that quote right on the back cover of the book. I would make it a blurb for the book. Meanwhile, poor J.D. Vance, not only does the book say Elon had no interest in meeting him because he was only vice president, this photo's been making the rounds today, which looks like Elon Musk is also making budget cuts to his pants. It looks like he walked into Bloomingdale's and said, "Give me the Urkel." Where does one even get a pair of pants like that? I mean, is there an American Boy doll store? We got some hot Melania gossip from the book, including a quote from a staffer that says Melania effing hates her husband, which I get that. It seems she wants no part of him. The book reveals that nobody can tell you where Melania even actually lives. She's like the Easter Bunny. We just know it's... Apparently, not even Trump's staff knew where Melania was living during the campaign, and she hasn't been around much since he won. Until this weekend, she hadn't been in Washington for a month. She reappeared on Saturday night at a dinner for governors. You can see here she is entering the governor's ball. Where is she? There she is. They dress the same for some reason. This is what hostage negotiators call proof of life. But despite her absence, sources claim Melania is a constant presence in Trump's ear, which, is that a marriage or a demonic possession? Because I think I know the real reason Melania came back to town. Trump got a visit from French President Emmanuel Macron today, and ooh la la. Watch this. Every time these guys get together, they have a long, uncomfortable handshake, and they just kind of won't let go of each other. They shake hands the way dogs get stuck together when they're mating, you know? Macron was in Washington for the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine to try to convince Trump not to bend over all the way for his KG BFF, Vlad Putin. Trump last week blamed Ukraine for the war with Russia, which is, I mean, these Ukrainians invaded themselves. It's quite an argument. Today, after last week he called Zelensky a dictator, he refused to call Putin a dictator when asked. I get the idea that when Trump watches, like, Lord of the Rings, he's rooting for Gollum. There's something off there. You know, speaking of Gollum, Rudy Giuliani had a rough moment at a Walmart this weekend. He was at a Walmart in Secaucus, New Jersey, and he was spotted shopping for hair dye. There he is checking out the new colors. It's, you know, they're sad and they're shopping for hair dye on your jazzy scooter at Walmart sad. And there's also an assistant who has to help Rudy pick out hair dye at Walmart sad. Unfortunately, Rudy was unable to find the right tint at the Walmart, but he did find it across the street at AutoZone. And that's what pure performance looks like, folks. Donald Trump's going around bragging he made $500 million charging business leaders to meet him at Mar-a-Lago. Meanwhile, the sad old vampire who ruined his life trying to steal the election forms, rolling around Walmart looking for a deal on Just for Men. I guess Rudy is not on the list of ways to make America great again. Trump is on a mission to bring back all the things we loved about this country, all the things we miss about this country. And when you see them all laid out for you, when you consider the sheer magnitude of all the amazing things he's doing, I have to say, it's hard not to feel patriotic.
Hello, everyone. Your favorite president here with more good news for freedom-loving Americans like you. I just gave an order to do away with soggy paper straws. From now on, all straws will be made from beautiful, dolphin-killing plastic. And that's just the beginning. We're also bringing back an old friend named asbestos. And sprayed our hair with CFCs. Let's get back to that great Farrah Fawcett hair. What a head of hair that lady had. We're bringing back smoking on planes and in hospitals and littering. I go right out the window with my trash. Sorry, Kemosabe. And we're also getting rid of those mesh nets around trampolines. Remember when kids used to just go flying? That's all coming back. And so is measles. We're bringing back measles, Aunt Jemima, and Uncle Ben, and the Redskins. There's only one commander in this town, and it's yours truly. And I told Pete Hegseth, he's gonna love this. We're bringing back drunk driving. Remember driving drunk? You gotta love it. And we're gonna bring back dumping chemicals right in the river. And the McDLT. I'm Donald Trump, and I'm recording this message from the toilet. That's a big one. That's a really good one. I hate to see it go.
Guillermo, do you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube now?
20 million.
That's right, yeah. That's why we're wearing these glasses. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not, help us get to 20 million and one.